Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out. And on today's video, we're going to be getting into our 2017 Ram 1500, and we're going to be installing some steering wheel radio controls on the back of it. So stick around if you'd like to see how we do it. All right, so here is the new steering wheel back cover that we ordered for it. The only difference between this one and the one on there is this one has the cutouts for the buttons. So we're going to go ahead and get this one installed, as well as we picked up, of course, our buttons. This will allow us to control the volume and the radio functions right here from the back of the steering wheel. And then also had to order a new wiring harness to go ahead and plug everything in together here. So we're going to go on ahead and we'll get in the truck and we will start pulling apart the old stuff and get the new parts installed. All right, so since we're going to be dealing with the airbag, we want to, of course, go on ahead and disconnect our battery. To go on ahead and disconnect it, I'm going to use a size 10 socket on this right here, and I'm also, just to be on the safe side, going to remove the positive as well. All right, so now that we have the battery cables disconnected, the next step is I'm going to be removing my airbag. Now, I do got to say, you know, this is an airbag, so do this, if you're going to do this at your own risk. You know, I can't take any responsibility or anything like that for if you guys mess up your truck or your airbag or anything like that. That being said, the next step in order to do this is, I've seen it done a couple ways. One is to remove this upper cover right here. Another way is to just rotate the wheel around to gain access to the airbag clips. So that's what I'm going to try first to get to those airbag clips. If that doesn't work, then I'll end up popping off this cover. But we'll go ahead and we'll get into it here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the steering wheel around a little bit right here. And you can see right in here, here's one of the clips right here. And then the other side, there'll be one right there, right in there, and then there's going to be one on the bottom side. So we're going to just try and rotate our wheel around to get to those and pop off the airbag. All right, you guys, so we got the clips off right here. Once again, there's 3 clips on it right here. Now we can go on ahead and disconnect the airbag. All right, so the most nerve-wracking part is over now. Now that we got the airbag out of here and set off to the side. Now, the airbag, I've always been told when you take out an airbag, don't put it like face down, like in a garage or in an enclosed space. I just set it facing up in case anything were to happen outside, just like in the driveway or on the wall, you know, somewhere away from me, somewhere where it's not going to hurt anyone if it goes off or anything like that. So now that we got that out of there, we can go on ahead and start taking off our steering wheel right here. The first step is we're going to want to head and take out this bolt right here, and then you want to make sure that you have your steering wheel as straight as possible before you take it off right here, because I believe you have a clock spring under here, and if that gets twisted or turned and you put the steering wheel on different than what it was before, it'll throw an error code on your truck, and it'll think that you're making a left-hand turn when you're going straight down the road. So you just, once again, want to try and keep it as straight as possible, mark it even, and then just like I said, just be very careful when you take everything apart right here. So let's get to it. So now we're going to try and break this loose. This is going to be a size 13 socket. All right, so this bolt's pretty tight, so I'm going to try and break it loose with my impact right here. There we go. All right, so what I found to get it out of here is I went forward with it to tighten it a little bit, and then I put it back into reverse, and that was able to get it off. All right, now that I got everything off of here, we're going to go on ahead and we're going to put a mark on here, and then we're going to try and pop off the steering wheel here. So now that I have this marked right here, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to pop off the steering wheel. If I need to, I'll get a steering wheel puller to try and pull this off, but I'm going to just try and kind of tap it off with my hand right here. So let's see if that'll do it first. Looks like it's working, it's just taking a little bit of time here. There we go. So now we're going to want to go on ahead and watch out for your airbag wires. They're kind of tucked around your steering wheel harness right here. So just kind of be careful as you're taking that all apart right here. All right, so another thing right here is your clock spring. It looks like it's indexed down at the bottom to fit into this hole. So that should help us line everything back up when we go to do this right here. But it looks like my clock spring is spinning a little bit right here because this thing is attached to the harness. So it's been a little bit of a pain to take off right here. Okay. So that is our steering wheel, guys. It's off of there. Now we can take it to the bench and swap everything over, and then we can get back here and plug everything back in. All right, guys, so back here we have two Torx T25s, one right here, and then we're gonna have one over here. And then down here, you're gonna have two Phillips head screws in these two little holes down here. All right, now on the inside here, we have a T25 right here and a T25 over here, and then these two bottom ones are gonna be Phillips. All right, so now we're gonna pop apart this this cover right here, and we'll get all of our stuff out hopefully here. Now, you do have some wiring attachments underneath each of these pieces on the steering wheel right here. So very gently, you're gonna wanna look under there and disconnect that before you really pull on this to get it off right here. And pull it right off. There we go. All right, now I don't know how well you guys can see this stuff in here, but inside of here we have our wiring harness that's looped around in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start taking this one out, and then we can take off this back cover right here, because it's the cover itself is holding the wiring harness here. So that's what we're gonna go on ahead and disconnect everything here. All right, so we got these wires all disconnected from around the inside of the base right here. I'm going to disconnect my horn wires right here, and then we can remove the steering wheel itself and just focus on the bottom part right here. Alright guys, so now that we have this disconnected from the actual steering wheel, we can set it aside. We'll grab our new one and we'll start installing the new harness. I'm just going to keep this one kind of side by side so I can kind of do a just kind of similar how it was done right here. So now we're going to go on ahead and install these new buttons into this back piece right here, into the new back piece. Now these are keyed right here. If you see this one right here, this one has a notch on this side, and right here on the actual on the new piece, it's got a notch as well right here in the corner. So that way you know when you're putting it together, that is the one that goes to that side, like that. So you just put the wiring in here, and then I believe you should just pop it on in, and it should just click on in here. So yeah, there we go. So there's the first one, and then let's flip it around. And then the second one, it should be the same thing. It's got a key mark on it right here. So underneath this sticker, there's a little cutout right here in the corner, and then that way you should match it up with this one right here. So now that we have those in, we can go on ahead and install the wiring harness here. All right, so we got this kind of looped back in here like the old one was. So now we can go on ahead and start reassembling everything. Alright guys, so we got the new backing plate installed on the steering wheel right here. Got our buttons on the back for the radio. Now we can go on ahead and get this reassembled. Now we're going to go on ahead and get the steering wheel installed back. Once again, this is our clock spring. We want to make sure that it is exactly the same position that it was in before. I believe it indexes off of this little nub right here into the bottom of the steering wheel down here. So we'll try and get it all put back together. So I think I got my mark lined up pretty good with how I had it before, so we're gonna try that. And then as for the clock spring, it lines up in this hole right here. All right guys, so that should be it. Looks like it's all settled down right there and clipped in. So now we can go on ahead and plug our battery back in. We should be all set. All right, you guys, so I've got everything working right here. Most important thing that I was worried about was the messages or the clock spring being out. I don't have any messages right here saying that anything is off. Horn works, all the buttons work on the menu right here, as well as gears and all that stuff when I go to drive it. And the cool thing is now I can just click the buttons on the wheel, and I can change between the different presets, and I can control the volume up and down. and I can just go through everything right here. So yeah, no, I'm definitely liking it right here. I can search through all my presets just from the steering wheel, so I'm pretty happy with that right there. Yeah, so it's definitely a big success in my book right here. If there's any issues with it, I'll let you guys know down the road, but so far, I mean, it looks like it's working pretty good. Alright guys, so that is all there is to installing the steering wheel radio controls on the back of your steering wheel on a 2017 Ram 1500. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next project. Thanks.